What's up?
Hey. Happy Friday, peeps.
Yeah, another episode of Get Real with Real Estate. I don't know what episode we're on at this point.
25, quarter
25.
century.
Awesome. 25 episodes in. And this episode of Get Real with Real Estate, we're talking about the San Diego market. What's going on with it? Tell us, Melissa.
Well, I would love to know your thoughts, you guys. Whether you're tuning in right now with us. I don't know if anybody's watching. Maybe
Just
not.
trying, so.
We just started, so not sure. But if you're watching on the replay, let us know in the comments what you think. Give us a flame if you think the market's heating up. Give us a little ice cube or something. Snowflake if you think it's cooling down. Because some people have different opinions as to what the market's doing. But we're here to share, what we've been seeing. So what's become apparent to us in these last few months as our buyers are shopping. We are seeing... What are we seeing?
It's lit.
It's lit, yo!
It's lit.
It's moving.
Yeah, the San Diego market's like on fire right now. Honestly, since the start of the year, it picked up after we came out of the holidays, which are very, typically a slow period of the year.
Cooling. There we go.
The holidays. So it's kind of expected that it's going to slow down around that time. But yeah, we came into January and it's been crazy. And then just these last few weeks, it's seemed to turn up even more. We've actually been running into, we've been sending properties to buyers and literally the next day it's already gone. They're like, oh yeah, I want to go check it out. And we go to schedule an appointment and it's already off the market, and it's insane. We had literally one house less than 24 hours
on the market.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that pretty consistently. Last week I had an agent who came up to me and they were like, what do you think? Is the market slowing down? I haven't really had any clients. And I was like, I think you're not doing your job. No, I'm just kidding. No, but really, it's been really interesting because we have, buyers and sellers who ask us all the time, what do you see the market doing? Right now, it is such a buyer's market that it's driving a seller's market. And what we're seeing is a ton of demand and very low, very little supply here in the San Diego market, especially in the median price point, which is, anywhere from 400 to, I would say, 700. Those properties are flying off the shelves. And really, the lower end of that spectrum, closer to the 400, 500, those are flying. And the reason being, it's hard to afford here in San Diego.
Yeah, I think we're kind of dealing with... I don't know, a perfect storm, so to say. We're basically just seeing,
well, that sounds a bit ominous.
It does sound a bit ominous. Storm, it's not, but basically...
Not really storm, it's
the current environment is kind of creating a frenzy, so to say.
Is.
And
That's a good word
the
for
reason being is because lack of inventory is driving prices, and then you have interest rates as well that have been increasing. So we're seeing, buyers that are in the market are seeing this thing where, okay, prices are rising, but interest rates are also going at the same time. And we've talked about interest rates before on other Get Real with Real Estates. Interest rates are going to have a bigger impact on your monthly payment and the amount of money you spend on that house than the purchase price.
Hands down, no joke.
Yeah.
Seriously, Google that. Look into how interest rates, don't trust us on it. You don't have to take our word for it or go back and watch our other video on it. Literally Google it and see how many posts that you can find. Wow, the wind's blowing. This is really becoming, it's attacking me. Google it and really look into the difference between what 1 or 2% can do to your interest rate over a 30-year mortgage. Mm-hmm. It is absolute insanity. And what that's doing, because it keeps going up slowly but surely, that interest rate keeps rising. And because that interest rate keeps rising, buyers are, like John said, in a frenzy to get into a home, because with each time that jumps, their purchasing power goes a little bit lower. So let's say they're pre-approved at 450 and the interest rates jump half a point. Well, that 450 pre-approval may have just dropped to 400, and now they are not only dealing with increasing home prices and an appreciating market, but they're dealing with the fact that now their purchasing power is reducing with an increased interest rate.
Yeah, so they're getting less house, or it might be in worse shape, or maybe not in... maybe it might be a neighborhood that's one step down than what they were originally shopping for, and that's just because the interest rate jumped a bit, and it totally shifted their entire, wish list, because they can no longer afford, the home they want. And
we see this all the time.
We're seeing it happen, and we obviously, you know, our buyers, we always want what's best for them, and we're never the type of agents who are going to push somebody into a home when they're not ready. But, you know, when we do have buyers who come to us and they're talking about, you know, sitting on the fence or taking step backs, things like that, we really kind of have to have a conversation with them, because it's quite realistic that, like, by taking a step back or pumping the brakes or something, that you may completely miss out altogether
on your San Diego experience, like, period. Because it's we talk about all the time how, honestly, I think the most disappointing aspect of our job, like, what crushes us more than anything else, more than losing a deal or, you know, a commission check or anything, it's having the client realize in front of our face that they've taken a step back. It's now a year later. They're in a much more difficult position to buy, because not only has the market appreciated and interest rates risen, their purchasing power has reduced. Seeing the realization on their face that they can no longer afford a house or a condo or a townhome in San Diego, and then when it dawns on them that they're no longer affording their rent, that's a really scary moment for us as real estate agents to see cross our client's face. Like, when that light bulb finally goes off and they're like, oh crap, I literally have been sitting on the fence for a year, and now I'm realizing that I'm not only looking at not being able to buy a home in San Diego, but I might realistically be looking at moving out of San Diego County altogether, or very far east, because I can no longer afford my rent in addition to it.
Because, yeah, not only are prices going up, rent's going up all around too. It's just, in general, the San Diego market's on fire. I mean, there's developments going on, but it's just not matching the demand.
And a lot of the developments too are in a higher luxury market, like prices starting at 700 plus, $1 million plus, an entire building, you know, starting at $1 million plus, which is crazy for those of us who are in more of a median.
It's not really
income.
Alleviating the inventory problem.
It's not. It's just creating a lot more inventory in the $1 million market, which that's great, but not really helping us. So for those of you who are on the fence, who are curious about what your options are, who, you know, are maybe thinking about potentially signing another lease but are faced with an increasing rent payment, or really just have questions, we ultimately want to be a resource. We work with clients all day long who don't have the intention of buying for 2 years, and then when they realize what 2 years looks like, they choose to buy in 6 months. Or we have clients who meet with us, are thinking 2 months from now, and after chatting with us, realize that it's not the right time. So we ultimately are just here to support you guys in figuring out and finding out the information that you deserve to know to make the educated and informed decision.
Because you don't know what you don't know. And a lot of people who aren't super familiar or in the real estate, you know, lending world, they may have these preconceived notions that, like, oh, I need to do this, or this needs to happen before this, and, you know, all these things that may or may not be true. And a lot of people, you know, sometimes they're pleasantly surprised by how qualified they might be, and they might have not even realized it.
Yeah, I mean, we work with people all the time who are debating, you know, do I sign the lease that's now like $200 more than it was this past year, or do I, you know, look into a mortgage? And sometimes when they talk to our lender, who's also super chill, no pressure, sometimes when they talk to one of our lender partners, they're like, dude, I'm about to move into a house and I'm going to be paying like $200 less than what my lease would have been. And I'm like, I know. That's the beauty of real estate, my friends.
Yeah, so San Diego market's on fire. I'm sure you guys...
I would say it's hot, hot, hot. John and I would not have bought this lovely home that we're sitting in right now had we not foreseen the market continuing to appreciate. With the demand as high as it is, I honestly, I almost feel like it would be good if we saw an overall market dip countrywide, because I think it might just alleviate some of the pressure that's on the San Diego market. I don't really see, with how high of a demand that we have and the shortage that we're experiencing, I just don't see it cooling down per se. We've literally had clients now who've been cooling down for the extent of our real estate career, who've been waiting for the market to cool down. And now they're like, well, crap, I don't know where I'm moving. It might be Arizona.
Yeah.
So, hope you have an awesome weekend, you guys. Let us know what you're doing in the comments. We'll live vicariously through you as we're at our open house. Or come visit us at the open house. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
John. Yeah. All right, guys. Have a great weekend.